Hello everyone and welcome to a Phasmophobia tier list video. Now, this video is about the items in Phas, since the other one didn't have audio that I recorded. So, I'm just gonna be a second while I rename all the tiers real quick. Alright, so here are the tiers. So, you're probably thinking, why are these all listed in words? And the answer is just that I found that this is the best way to do it right now. And that's pretty big. So let's start off with let's do the items in alphabetical order on what I would say they have. So the photo cam in reality only has like one use that's good and a niche. That's really how it is. And when you look at it, it definitely, like, in most cases, the two uses tier is meant for items that definitely have, like, two good uses. Like, you could argue that this is in two uses because, I, like, it's only. Actually, it does have two uses, so actually that does fit. Like, it's actually two niches and a good use, so that'll fit. Hold on. So that's pretty much how this goes. And the uses that it does have are good, for sure. So, like, you can get photos of objects, which gets you a lot of money. The most money out of anything, honestly. That should change a little bit once, like, the ghost type and all that becomes worth more. And $10 is definitely not worth an objective, especially on amateur, even. So, the candle. Why is it busted? Sanity control, finding a ghost type. Uh, you have an objective. You can use it to find the ghost location. And it's so good. Like, sanity control is insanely good in Phasmo. And that's the whole reason candles are busted. Like, anyone who says candles have like two uses, that is a lie. Like, on Rios and Mimics, you can use it as crucifixes. You can test for early hunts with them. Uh, you can literally keep your sanity up at 100 and prevent hunts from most ghost types outside of 3. And then pretty much anything besides that, the candle objective is just nice. So yeah. The summoning circle is a cursed possession, but it's not really an item, but I will rate it here. And it's got one good use. Like getting the ghost photo is really it. But it drains 80 sanity. Like, it is rough. Honestly, like, getting 16 sanity per candle lit is rough. Like, that drops your average in multiplayer significantly to start a hunt. So yeah, that and getting the ghost photo pretty much for free is very good. Like, yeah, you have to run immediately because of it, but getting the ghost photo is really useful. Just the sacrifice of sanity is insane. So yeah, the ghostwriting book is good, but it narrows down the ghost type. Uh, because it's an evidence item, you get an interaction photo, two interaction photos off of it if you're fast enough. Um, and that. I thought it was just a bug where you'd get two interactions, but no, it's actually intentional, and I figured this out before I had seen Insim mention it. The crucifix has one good purpose. In fact, it has one niche, but I feel that niche is still a good thing. Like, objectives are pretty niche. Um, but those two uses are really good. Preventing two hunts within a 3 meter radius, 5 if it's a banshee. Um, and then having the crucifix objective kind of helps. It doesn't really do anything else, it's just that. Dots, I think, well, it's not good at its other purpose. A lot of people don't think about its other purpose, but it is good for tracking the ghost. Well, not good, but it's able to if you're good enough at placing it, because you can place it between two rooms, and if it's a dots ghost, you can tell it's nearby the dots projector, or it's within one of two rooms. So that's what it is. It's a decent tracking tool. It gives you an evidence, which narrows down the ghost type significantly out of 21 types. So yeah, the EMF reader is an amazing item. In fact, it's better than the photo cam because it has two good uses and one niche. But it's not busted because the niche is just an objective. So its first use is a major evidence type. The second use is actually has three uses besides the niche. The second is telling you the area of where an interaction goes off, which the third is a much more minor, but it's still good at it, is tracking where it's doing stuff. And it obviously tells you when a hunt started, like some of these objects here. Like, technically, the dots could be argued to be higher, but having the ability to tell you when a hunt is started is useful, but not as useful as what the candle had, which I didn't think about it. Keeping your sanity up during hunts unless the ghost is near you. And then you also get sight during a hunt without the ghost killing you. That's a big thing. So I'm gonna put the uh, I'm gonna put the weak flashlight in useless, or uses too niche, despite it having a decent use. And it's only because it's outshined by the strong flashlight. Like, if the strong flashlight didn't exist, the regular flashlight would be in either one niche use or one good use. But because there's so many things that overshadow this item, it just becomes the niche's too the uses too niche situation. So yeah, while it does give you sight, tells you where a hunt when a hunt's going, both of those are niche and common. Like, EMF photocam and dots all tell you. So that's why I consider it a niche use rather than something amazing. Glow stick goes into busted. Uh, it has many different uses. It's probably the most versatile item in the game. Um, so, like the candle, you can use it during a hunt and be safe. You get sight, better sight for a minute than a candle. Uh, you can see fingerprints with it, so it gives you an evidence type. You can see footsteps for wraith testing, so you can figure out a ghost type with it. Um, you can light up an area just so that you can speed test without using motion sensors. Uh, like like if you don't want to use motion sensors, you can use the glow stick. It's worse at a speed test than a motion sensor, but it's so useful. Like I just named a bunch of uses for it, and the item is just insane. It doesn't keep your sanity up like a glow stick, though. That is, I mean, a candle. That is the one downside to it compared to the candle. However, it used to be broken in the fact that it used to keep up your sanity like a candle, whether it was being used or not. So, the haunted mirror, which I'll also call the dark mirror for the rest of this, um, the dark mirror is really good for what it does do. It tells you the ghost's room. Like, that is the best tracking you can ever have, besides spirit box tracking, which is exact position. But, like, and then on top of it, it's probably the least penalizing cursed possession in that if you use it too much, it breaks and then the ghost immediately hunts, and hunt duration is 20 seconds longer, which is significant for Nightmare. But the Dark Mirror, giving the exact location is insanely helpful, because then you know where to put the evidence items and everything. And then you can use it to know if the ghost has changed its room or roamed out of it, I believe. So it's really good. It's not like as multi-purpose as some of the other items here, so it ends up being one good use, and that's about it. Headcam has a niche, and that is telling when somebody is dead is that big niche use that it has whenever you are literally playing nightmare difficulty. Otherwise the other niche is too niche. So I'm like thinking about this, and I'm like, video cam straight up made it even more niche when they buffed it. So, but then it went back up to one niche use after they buffed it for nightmare difficulty. Now the lighter has two good uses: lighting a smudge stick, lighting a candle, and actually even um, you can get the ghost. You can also track the ghost position, kind of, if you do it right. So you've got pretty much a way of tracking the ghost to a certain degree. Like, is this the ghost room? Holds out a lighter and has it on, type situation. So it has one niche on top of that, but that's why it's in two good uses, like two uses. So, yeah. So let's go with the motion sensor and why it is so good. Like, I think I originally rated it a tier below, but I didn't think about it entirely. But you can track the ghost really good with this item. Like, if it's not a spirit box ghost and you don't have a dark mirror, you can track the ghost with this. And then you also have, like, the fact that you can put multiple down. So you can effectively track really how the ghost acts. And it helps you to get a smudge area as well. And then placing it on the floor can be pretty decent. The music box is extremely niche. Probably the worst cursed possession in the entire game. Like, you can barely track with it because it's like, oh, you can use it and then figure out where the ghost came from to narrow down the ghost position, but then when you drop it, it starts a hunt and you can't use it again. And then on top of it, the fact that you can get a ghost photo in multiplayer safely, but that's about it. Um, so it has technically two niches, but you have to be in multiplayer, so it's being put into one niche for that reason. So, yeah, music box is pretty bad. It's not like it's better than headcam, but only barely because you can choose to start a hunt if you want to escape the ghost for a hunt. So yeah, the paramic is good. Like, it has two niches, but the niches are useful. It's used to find two ghost types more than anything else, and then on top of it, you can figure out the ghost position with it, so you can track with it. Like, it's not as good as some other things, but at the same time, being able to track where the ghost is really doing stuff is big. So yeah, that's pretty much the paramic. Sanity pills, they provide sanity control. That's about it. But it's pretty bad. It's like I used to put them up a tier just because that sanity control they had was good, but now it's like 25 sanity on Nightmare, 30 uh on Professional. That's not really good enough. So yeah, the Ouija board is insanely useful. Like, you can find the ghost position, you can find the bone location with it, you can start a hunt with it. Um, it gets you a bunch of interaction photos. Definitely the best cursed possession. Definitely better than most things in this entire game. But it does, and you can use the EMF reader to get EMF 5 if it's an EMF 5 ghost. So yeah, so I'll put it there at bottom. You can somewhat track with it, but it's not very good at it in comparison to like many other tracking tools. Um, but you also can get footstep photos and figure out a ghost type. So yeah, it definitely fits in this tier. Um, but that's really it. Smudge is busted. You can prevent hunts with it to get more interactions. Um, you can save yourself during a hunt and other people during a hunt. And then on top of it, it's got 2 objectives. Like, it's absolutely the best item in the game. Like, it is so strong. Technically, you can get 3 objectives done in less than a minute just with the smudge stick. Absolutely insane. The sound sensor is like, it's too niche. And then its use is like, if they actually lowered the range of the sound sensor, it would be a better item. That is how bad it is. Like, they overtuned it to the point of being worse. And I didn't think that I would be saying that, but it's terrible at its job because it's too broad of a range, so it's hard to track the ghost with it. Spirit box is super good. You get, if it's a spirit, you get 1 evidence type. If it actually has spirit box, you can track it um, to the exact position. And then that's about it. But spirit box is a fantastic item. In fact, I'll put it below photo cam, because being able to track the ghost if it's spirit box is fantastic. Strong flashlight. It's pretty niche. You can see with it. That's about it. That, and it can tell you during what it when a hunt starts, but nothing else important. Tarot cards are actually insane. Like, if you get they can be good and bad. Like, you can instantly die with this if you're not careful. Though it can revive somebody at a really low chance if somebody dies. Um, you can get your sanity increased. Uh, then you can also just get a bunch of things. Like, you can go and you can drop your sanity even by accident. So it's like, it's a mixed bag, but it had the good uses it has are insane. And yeah, that's about it. Thermometer. I didn't put it on the tracking, but I'm gonna put it here. So Thermo has 2 niches. Uh, finding the ghost room. If you can't see freezing breath, it'll show you that it's freezing before freezing breath. And that's about it. It's literally there for those purposes. Tripod useless, probably the worst item in the game. I'd call it definitely, it has a niche, but it's useless when you are good at placing video cams. UV light gives you an evidence type. You can check for footsteps for salt, and that's about as good as it's good for. Yeah, it can tell you that a hunt started, but it's probably the worst item in 2 uses. Um, video camera is pretty crazy. You can see ghost orbs. It allows you to see. Um, it gives you a spot to safely check for dots. You can tell when a ghost has moved from a room with it, but that's pretty much all it has. Voodoo Doll. It has one purpose, which is causing interactions, but if you're not careful, it'll start a hunt. And if it starts a hunt, good luck. But it's a random chance. So, yeah, that's about where I'd put everything. And I hope you all enjoyed. So I'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye.